At this point, I just want to talk about the concept of generational curse or generational curse breaking, because what that means is people who experience trauma in their childhood, that could be any kind of trauma, could be emotional, physical, sexual, verbal, neglect, all of those. If they don't work through those traumas, if they don't work through it in their adult life, and go to therapy to actually face that trauma, if they don't do that, what happens is when they have adult relationships with their partners, and also when they have children, they tend to repeat those same cycles of abuse that they experience because they haven't dealt with it, because the experiences they have with primary caregivers in childhood forms their attachment style. And attachment styles are different. So you have secure attachment, you have insecure, and that's the three types. There's the anxiously attached, the avoidant attached, and the fearful, which is a mixed, or disorganized, which is kind of a mixture of anxious and avoidant attachment. I had an anxious avoidant attachment because I was extremely neglected as a child. I was emotionally abused, verbally abused. I was also sexually abused by my father. And all of that shaped my relation. It kind of caused me many wounds. Like, I have father issues, mother issues. My inner child was extremely wounded, but I faced all of that, and I worked through all of that trauma, and I kind of alchemized the pain into strength. And that is, I'm learning that that's kind of a unique approach I have, but it's something everyone can do, really. It's basically about sitting with the pain and facing it, rather than what you would normally do, and which I've done, which is running away from it, suppressing it, kind of using different kinds of addictions like alcohol, smoking, gaming, sex, food, all of these as crutches. And I've done that too. I've had multiple crutches. Also gambling, internet, online shopping. Online shopping is also another crutch I used temporarily until I consciously made myself stop. These are things that basically give you a bit of dopamine hit. It kind of gives you that pleasure. It gives you an escape from the pain. And while it feels good in the moment, the problem is it creates that addiction. And that addiction makes you not face the issues, the trauma. And because you're not facing it, you internalize it, and it becomes the model through which you approach every other relationship in your life, whether that's with your friends, whether that's with your significant other, with your children. And that's how this cycle of abuse continues, and that's why it's so toxic. So, for example, my mother was also emotionally abused by her mother. I remember when my mother would be so excited to go to India, because we lived in the UK, and she'd be so excited to go to India to just spend some time with my grandmother, and my grandmother would start abusing my mother, saying all these horrible things that are not true, and she knows it's not true, but in the moment it's like she can't help herself, and she just is so abusive. And I've seen my mother just get so angry and hurt, and we would leave with her in tears. And that it was so horrible, because I could see her excitement and hope, and happiness at going to see her mother, but then this happens, and then she's like, why did I even go? She gets so hurt, and there's so much pain. And I used to feel so horrible seeing that, that emotional abuse. But then later she'd have my grandmother would have these lucid intervals where she'd be like, oh, but my daughter, she's such a good person.